Welcome to Foam Rolling Abs workout number 3. We're gonna need a foam roller and your mat for today's workout. We're gonna move through a sequence of multiple different specific core exercises that are gonna target that deep transverse abdominal muscle. The foam roller is gonna be able to give you really good feedback on whether or not you're able to completely stay committed into that transverse abdominal activation. Let's go ahead and get started lying on your back. Your roller is gonna be parallel with the mat. The easiest way to get on the foam roller is to sit your tush right at the front edge. And then just take your time slowly making your way down onto your back. You wanna feel fully connected from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head so your head's not hanging off the back of the roller. The first thing that we wanna do is we wanna draw the belly muscles in and up without tucking the pelvis. So finding that nice neutral spine along the roller. And this is where the roller is gonna give you that feedback. So you should feel like you're fully supported and connected to the foam roller. Hands are gonna come down at your sides. So a couple different things I wanna point out with hand position. The closer your arms into your body, the more unstable the roller is gonna be rocking from side to side. So that's gonna be the most challenging position. If we have those hands out a little bit wider, you're gonna be able to stabilize yourself a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and start out here. Depending on exercise, I might bring my hands in a little bit closer. So just keep that in mind. Let's start to take one knee up to tabletop, the other knee up to tabletop, and now you're holding your legs up from your core. Begin to extend your legs up towards the ceiling. We're gonna have a little soft, gentle point of the toes, and then let's slightly open the big toes so the heels are pressing together and you've got a little external rotation of your legs. So you should be able to see the inseam of your pant. We're gonna take a little adductor stretch here, so opening through those inner thighs, begin to separate your legs out into a V, and then you're gonna just take an extra little pulse out and then pull those legs back together. Go ahead and open to your V, little deeper pulse out, and we'll pull back together. The magic number is 8 today. We're gonna do 8 reps of every exercise. Open, little pulse to pull in. Open, little pulse, and pull in. Just 2 more of those. And last one. We'll bring those legs back up together and return back to tabletop here. Now I'm gonna bring my hands in a little bit closer to the roller. We're gonna go into a double knee fold, so double knee dip. You're gonna keep the shape of your leg the same. You're gonna bring your knees forward and away from your hip crease. Now, the goal is not to touch the toes to the floor. The goal is to keep the whole spine connected to the foam roller and then bring the knees back up to the chest slowly. Tip the knees forward. I almost like to think like dip your toes into water and then exhale, pull those knees back up to center. So the lower you go, obviously the more challenge, the more lever of your legs, the harder your core is gonna have to work to pull those knees back up. Let's give it 4 more. And exhale. Now as you get to that low tipping point, you might feel that tremor of truth, that little shake in your abs. All good, just make sure that you can safely get those legs back up to tabletop without losing that connection to those lower abdominal muscles. One more time, you're doing great. Let's pull those knees back up and now open them into frog position. Knees go about shoulder width apart and your heels are pressing together, big toes are separated. Again, I'm gonna move my hands out a little bit wider here for more stability. I'm gonna take those legs out and up. I'm gonna bring them together and then pull them back into your frog position, in towards your chest. Again, the longer the lever of the legs, the harder your abs have to work. So you can see I'm up a little bit higher. Otherwise, if I go too low, my abs are gonna lose the connection to the roller. So find your range of motion and the position that works best for you. 4 more, exhale as you press away and pull back in. Exhale, press away, pull back in. Last 2. And 1 more. Take those legs out into your hold and we're gonna lift the legs up on the exhale and lower the legs slightly down on the inhale. Pull the legs up on the exhale and lower them slightly down on the inhale. Now again, you might notice that taking your hands a little bit closer to the roller can help you find more leverage. Since we're moving in a single pane here, we're not really moving our legs outside of our center. So we're able to hold that stability a little bit better and go a little lower. Last two. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to lift. One more time. And exhale to lift. Now we're gonna move into a scissors. Lower your right leg down, left leg is gonna stay right on up. You can really challenge your range of motion here because we're only going one leg. Now the opposite leg is gonna start to lower as that right leg is lifting up. So you're passing those legs through center. A little connection through the inner thighs. Beautiful. Try not to let the leg that's going low go below the foam roller. So stay parallel with the roller. Last two. Switch. Last one. Switch. Hold that right leg up. Pull the left leg up to meet. Moving into a circle, I'm gonna take my hands out wide for more stability again. We're gonna start by lowering the legs down to that low point. Pause, open about hip width distance and circle back up over the hip. Down, exhale, circle around to come up. Down, exhale, around to lift. 5 more, keeping the circle small. If you're starting to get fatigued, just decreasing that range of motion, especially if you're in your hip flexors. Last 3. 2, keeping that spine connected to the foam roller. 1 more. You've guessed it, we've got reverse here. Open, down, exhale, lifting straight back up the middle again. Open, down together, exhale, lifting straight back up center. Last 6. Rely on your breath, especially as we're getting fatigued. We're to the final stretch here. And 3. Make sure you're not tensing in the head, neck, or shoulders. And 1 more. Knees come to your chest. Gently set your feet down one at a time. Now we're gonna end up rolling our way off the roller. There's no graceful way to get off, so just flop your body to one side and go ahead and come all the way on up. Our last exercise is we're gonna do a straight leg into a crisscross. So turn your roller perpendicular to your mat. Your butt is gonna be on the ground. We're gonna position that foam roller towards the middle of your back here. So we don't wanna be hanging over. We wanna be able to support ourselves and kind of hold into the crunch of the core. Hands are gonna go behind your head. We're gonna start on the left leg. So with those hands behind your head, that's adding more weight for your upper abdominals to have to hold up and support. So you wanna come into that crunch. The right leg is gonna go long to a hover. We're gonna bring the knee to the chest, stretch long to a hover. Now come into a cross and a rotation. Now make sure those elbows aren't caving in. We wanna keep them nice and open, and then return back to center. Lower to your hover, pull in, lengthen, lift to cross. Hover, pull in, lengthen, lift to cross. Targeting our obliques here. 5 more, lift to cross. 4 more, holding at center. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling those shakes. Last 4, lift to come across. 3, lift to come across. Almost there. 2, lift to come across. 1 more, keep those abs in and up. Hover and drag your right foot in. We're finishing on the left. This is our last exercise. Hover, pull in, lengthen, lift to cross. Keep those elbows nice and wide. Lift to cross. Focus on that outer left oblique, lift to cross. Final 5. Stick with me here. Exhale, come across. Really work that rotation. Push the breath out of the lungs as you come across. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Exhale, take it across, bring it back to hover, lower the leg down and drag in, walk your feet and your hips forward. So now the roller is right underneath your shoulder blades. Take a nice gentle extension here, opening up the belly, keep the hands back to support the head. Do 3 breaths here. Neutralize your head, draw your belly in, roll back on the roller slightly, set your tush back down, take those hands behind your knees, return yourself up to a seated position. Great job, you guys. Way to work through the foam roller. Hopefully you're feeling that feedback along your spine and feeling that deep abdominal connection. Lots of shakes and quivers today. Way to go. Thank you so much. I'll see you next workout.